So Anirban, I was remembering the day I first connected to you. Coincidentally, I was going to Bombay only, and you happened to be in Bombay, and suddenly that connectivity happened, and whereby we met at your office at Chembur, I believe, right?
Yes.
In Chembur, and that was, and believe me that that discussion shook me up, and since I am also a sports freak, I subscribe to your idea, but the temptation of having this podcast with you has been for quite a long time, and thankfully that we have ended up in landing in today's podcast. So Anirban, a very warm welcome to Pune Institute of Business Management, and in this podcast, a lot of inquisitiveness within me. I'm trying to hold it back as far as possible, but obviously getting to understand that you have been doing your research apart from your corporate stint. You are doing your PhD on this particular aspect of exploring sports in the arena of corporate affairs. So I just wanted to ask, in fact that is compelling my wonder, that what was that aha moment which actually got you interested in this particular topic of sports at workplace?
Riddhiman, first of all, thanks to Pune Institute of Management for having me over here, and it's an honor and pleasure to be part of your YouTube channel, and you are hosting me. Thanks for that. I'll tell you how it all started. I think it was close to 15 years back.
Okay.
It is now little more than 25 years that I'm in the space of human resource, and I've been working.
Correct.
I felt that over a period of time, the social skills that I see that people were having earlier has been declining, and how it is impacting work, the relationships that kind of drive trust, and trust is the key to business.
Absolutely. I agree.
I feel that lack of interaction, lack of communication is leading to a lot of interpersonal issues in the companies.
Yes.
If you look at some of the Gallup research of late, you pick up anyone in the last decade, you will see that this is becoming a concern globally. And in India, the average figure, whatever I have gone through, the engagement levels have fallen drastically. So this is, I think, from people's side of the business.
Ultimately, human to human engagement.
The engagement levels that the employees have at the workplace.
Correct.
And how they are engaging and how they are connecting, and that engagement score, as you know, is a very important factor to drive a lot of things that the corporates want, the business want, and the evolution of a business into an institution. I would say that beyond 25 years, an organization just should not remain a business entity. It should evolve into, with the legacy that it is able to build, it should be moving beyond that. That's where you are
Absolutely.
able to build a brand. That's where you are able to take your organization, its culture, its service, product, or whatever you are into a global market. And I am seeing this because probably I'm also a transition generation. If you look at the previous, before 2000, the 25 years, that used to be little different.
Absolutely.
And much different, and beyond 2000 it has been very, very, the changes are faster, I would say. See, we have to understand one thing, why this is very, very important is, when internet came, we earlier did not have the concept of an email. We did not have the concept of a WhatsApp. And as this technology started coming, people have become, these are very powerful tools in communication, in kind of how we workflow, how we reflect ourselves to the world. and that the process of work has become faster. So what ideally should have happened? People should have been able to give more time towards development, learning, innovation, creative thinking. Productivity levels should have ideally gone up.
Yes.
But post 90s, the productivity level has gone down. So there is a very...
Is it?
Yeah, if you see the global records, and it is not only an Indian phenomenon, it's a global phenomenon. And this is a concern right now. And this, when I kind of went a little deeper, I realized that we have become very transactional at work.
Yes.
And as we have become more transactional at work, we are not deeply involved, passionate about what we are doing. So our learning, our ability to integrate, see what the world requires right now. The world requires now that I would have obviously, like I'm an HR specialist.
Correct.
So I should be able to, the concept of a T-shaped talent model, that the horizontal part of the T being, your understanding of the business and how you link your domain to other domains like finance, marketing, corporate communication, and a host. You should have some amount of understanding of that. Otherwise, it's a disjointed. You will not, your knowledge will not be able to drive or deliver what ideally it should deliver.
In a way, you want to knit up those things.
Correct, absolutely. So, as an HR professional, I should have a basic understanding of the legal framework of if I'm handling 4 or 5 countries, and that how do I get to kind of understand that. I should today understanding of economics, macroeconomics is very important.
Very important.
Understanding of certain aspects of geopolitics, how the market is being impacted by geopolitics, that is also important.
Yes.
For HR person, organizational behavior is very, very important. So what I felt that this disengagement is leading to a lack of understanding of this, because we are not able to connect with other verticals, people. The best way to learn is that when you practice something at work and when you are interacting with other people from different streams. If that is falling, then there is a huge problem, and that is why you will see you are an expert in that. A lot of people who are moving from Bschool into the corporate professions, they are struggling today. See, when I started my career in 99-2000, the attrition levels at the entry level was not as high as what it is today. Today it is it's a phenomenal problem, and the problem is leading to such chaos that the very stability of this entry level talent and gradually to move them into the next level is becoming a Herculean task. And
true,
therefore,
absolutely true.
This will have an impact 5 years, 10 years down the line, when you will see that there has been so much instability at that entry level. So 5 years down the line, when these people are supposed to have 5 to 7 years of experience and contribute in that way, they will have a serious challenge with that. So all these problems came to my mind, and I thought that what would be probably how the world has addressed this before, or if this problem did not exist, what was it not existing? And I realized a very interesting thing. Sports has always been globally a very powerful way of connecting people.
Connecting people, yes.
And it does not cost a lot of money to do that. And when I talk about sports, I'm emphasizing a little more on the team sports. Football,
Cricket,
basketball, hockey, all those things. And probably in the modern context, in the contemporary context, though gymming is nothing to do with teaming, but gymming brings a lot of discipline. It also gives today a person who is beyond 40 or who is in the 20s some time for him to bring his own routine into a very structured kind of a day, and also gives him space to think and reflect, which is also something of a challenge, because we don't spend much time in reflecting, retrospecting what we are doing and what is it that we want to do.
Absolutely. I think you've set the tone in a very right spirit. I hope this will going to arouse a lot of curiosity amongst our audience as well. The next thing which I would like to get into that, literally I have found that you are prescribing sports as an antidote in the workspace. Now, is it about just creating another bit of positive regime in place of certain wasteful exercises amongst employees in terms of unnecessary gossips, personal discussions, or rather channelizing a kind of a competitive spirit into a positive outlet?
Okay. I feel that we have an X amount of energy, and either it can be used towards constructive pursuits, or it will just simply get wasted. Correct. So, what is happening, it's a human tendency to kind of engage himself or herself into something that he or she is passionate about. Absolutely. In absence of that, it builds a lot of negativity, because you will be knowing about the brain hormones that we have.
Yes.
So
those endorphins
and all. So what happens is this: if you are sterile, if you are not doing anything which is keeping your body and mind engaged, so that a storm kind of builds up within yourself, and the reflection of that is ultimately this gossip and negativity in the workplace, at home, wherever you go. So there are people you will meet who you meet for just a couple of minutes, and you would like to meet them again and again. You remember those conversations. So they are actually having a positive energy, which we kind of loosely we say. But what is that positive energy? The positive energy is the lifestyle that person has inculcated. It's a total kind of a thing. So you will see that a lot of people, they do take part in some kind of a physical activity until unless they are kind of having a medical issue which is preventing them.
Yes.
They have some kind of a diet regime. They will kind of read things which are positive and try to kind of understand what is happening in the world. So there is a set of things, and as we kind of move away from that age-old traditional system, we will kind of only get into a lifestyle which is not, or I would say, detrimental to our own growth. So our food habit, though I will not kind of, my PhD research is not into the food part of it. It is about a lifestyle, and the most critical component of that lifestyle which helps you to remain productive and efficient at work is some form of an exercise. And I believe that sports does not require a huge investment by yourself. It only requires your determination, and once you get into it, it will become a habit, which is a very nice way for you to kind of remain healthy and remain positive.
And drive also, it creates an inner drive to perform also. That if I cannot put this somebody is smashing on the other court in a badminton, if I not put this smash up, I feel myself I was a failure. And how to improvise onto that, continuously practicing, because practice in workplace is also very important, that you practice onto certain skills and develop that skills and to perform better. So
absolutely. I'll tell you, sports actually is the best way to help people learn how to cope with failures, because this is a big challenge today. We only are getting used to success. Now, success is not something that you will have everything every day according to what you want. There will be setbacks, and how you cope with those setbacks, sports is the best way. Because as if you play football, if you play basketball, you will know that every day is not the same day. So you have to accept. It also brings in a lot of resilience to fight back and to continue with the same energy and spirit into the work every day.
Absolutely.
So, and I think your team, if you are especially at a leadership role, your team will always like someone who, even in difficult times, is able to give that space, that mind frame and bring that kind of executive presence, as we call, to the workplace, which gives us stability. So they will not then falter. Otherwise, many times when I talk to managers and I speak to people,
Yes.
the biggest challenge is the manager, he or she himself is kind of deeply unstable and insecure, whereby the team is facing a lot of problem. So if the leader is weak, then
Obviously, down the line,
it is down the line more chaos, because you pass on your negative sentiments, you lose your
down the
temper.
line. So, absolutely, very unarguably, it is gradually unveiling that the importance of sports and way they can bring about a changes in workplace. Now, what about the leadership on it, one? Because if I talk of the senior leadership of a company, do they look at sports as just another feel-good factor, or and the question regarding the kind of ROI or so-called return on investment that is happening, which may not be measurable in a very short period of. Yeah. So, what about the role of senior leadership over here? Just do they look at sports as just a feel-good factor, is a kind of an entertainment for the employees, or they really focus on that ROI part, that what is the kind of return I'll get over this investment? Because probably things may not be so accurate and measurable within a very small duration of time. You have to probably look at a wider space.
Yeah, I'll tell you a very interesting thing. I first time spoke at a public forum on this topic in Bombay itself in 2018, and this was before COVID. So there were a lot of people who were heading mid-sized companies, CHROs of fairly large company. And once the presentation ended, the topic was power of sports. How does sports help?
Correct.
So the feedback that I got from the audience, around 200 people, is this: that they've never thought of this before. So they have kind of seen this happening in bits and pieces in some companies, but when I ended my presentation, and it was a very interactive one, a lot of people brought their points, and I kind of
You got a lot of questions.
questions, yes, and they felt that then holistic, comprehensive thought on this probably they had not come across before. And that was the point of time that I thought that I should do a PhD.
Yes, absolutely. And I think you have chosen absolutely a vacant space where a lot of things can be done about it.
Yes, and I would also say that since you mentioned about ROI and investment, this is not a huge investment per se. I'll give you a simple fact. Companies are actually now spending a lot of money on improving engagement, which is very costly. And I'll give you an example. We do a lot of these sessions to kind of build leadership, help people bond in the company. But we have to understand that
a lot of outdoor activities I see.
A lot of outbound
people,
programs we are doing, and
yes,
all,
yes.
and they are time consuming. People are going for 3 days at a stretch, and then they are getting into. But if you look at the L&D research, this has not yielded the kind of outcomes that ideally they should have, because we have not been able to solve much of attrition problem. Now look at the present day market. We still have an attrition problem, and we have a very high rate of unemployment also. Not many jobs are there. At the same time, attrition has not. Ideally, in a country, if we look at just the Indian context, we should not have such an attrition problem, because jobs are not there, and there is already unemployment. But attrition is still there, and primarily because probably there is something culturally missing within the organizations.
Some gap is.
Yes, there. And what is that gap? And that gap is people have not connected. That is the first level. After connecting, it should be bonding. And once you bonded, only then you can build team. And once you have built team, and everybody has a space to contribute towards the project or whatever they have to do, and the leadership is open to letting people to contribute that there, only then an organization thrives. Otherwise, you have a bunch of survivors who are struggling to remain within a system.
Yes.
And I heard something very interesting. It's in Hindi though. Do punch, ek lunch.
Do pass, ek lunch.
So that means
Oh
you
God.
kind of swipe in, you have your lunch in the afternoon, you swipe out. And recently I met someone from TCS, and this guy told me that there were people who were in bench for a long time. So they were idling, and they were not, and yet they did not have the inclination to take a new project or kind of, and that is why TCS has come up with
Lot of
changes.
golden handshakes. I've seen recently.
It is because I just gave an example though. I brought up the point that I want to drive is people should be eager to take up something new which will add value to them. If that is not happening, why it is not happening? Probably they are so insecure, or they are kind of, as I mentioned, the term survivors, because in some of the research that they use the word as thrivers and survivors. And survivors, they are so busy with that particular day to survive.
Absolutely.
They are not able to think beyond that, and that is where the organizations suffer. And that is why when I mentioned to you the productivity levels are falling, the primary reason for that, and it is to do with their themselves, that is the mind and body. Because when you go into an organization, walk into an office, you go as a whole person.
Correct.
So you can't be for all 365 days a different person at home and different person at work. So if there is no energy at work, there is no outcome at work. You are not learning anything new, you are not contributing, so it's a very vicious circle.
Vicious circle.
And you are repeating, if you are there in the organization for 5 years or 15 years, you are just repeating the first year, those many years.
Appearing to be that it's an everyday struggle to maintain the membership of the organization, nothing else.
Yeah.
So I was basically wondering that how does a senior leadership look at this sports preposition? That do they think it to be just another kind of a value-added activities for the employees, or do they really focus on, okay, fine, I am investing X amount, what can be my return on investment? And although we know it very practically that maybe the measurability across a small period of time may be difficult when it comes to translating it into employee productivity, although there is no correlation which is apparently available, or obviously certain research has to be done. And since you are also into research, how do you like to address this issue?
I think that this is a very established practice now in many countries, particularly in North America and Europe. And a lot of companies in Singapore also I visited, and I spoke to people, and I saw that they are also kind of investing. I see the question that you asked is how will the business see it in terms of business value to the company, into the core business. I am of the fundamental belief that nothing in the business should be done which ultimately does not contribute to its core business, the core activity. Therefore, how does it impact the core business activity? It impacts the core business activity, and as I am doing my PhD research, that is what I am trying to kind of get a little more into the detail. That how do we build a model which is low investment, which is not going to cost a huge amount of money, it is not going to consume productive time of people from the work time, and to find out ways and means how does it make a very specific contribution to it. Now there are three parts of it. One is that how do you take this proposition with data and figures to the business heads to make a convincing case, and I think that is kind of been done already across the world.
Correct.
Because there has been plenty of books that has been written on the health and wellness part of it, which is to do with how business can kind of. Lot of CEOs themselves now are very actively taking part in sports. So that
marathon run
whether you say marathon, gymming, they are a lot of, I came across 2-3 people, they are into football teams themselves.
Yes, yes.
And people who are little, kind of 55 plus, they are also beginning to engage themselves into activities, group activities, which is a different kind of sports. So this is sorted. The other part of it is that how do we help the businesses have a model which they should go and be able to talk to the employees about, that yes, this is what is needs to be done, this is what we are expecting from you, and this is what it leads to. And the third part of it, I would say, is a very important one, is that how do you convince people? Because in Indian context, what I am seeing, it is not so much of a challenge from the business, that whether the business wants or not.
Correct.
Like as I mentioned to you in 2018 when I spoke, they did not outright, I was actually a bit surprised that they were so inquisitive about it. They asked so many questions and they wanted to know that how does it kind of work. So
Correct.
the resistance is, I don't see any resistance in any section. The challenge that I see is that people would say to you, and I'm talking about the employees, they might say to you, we don't have that time, which may not be factually correct. Because when they have
That's
time
a key
for
issue that you will not bring into the argument.
Yes. Because they don't want to, they see they should not see this as an additional work only, that the company is also asking them now to get themselves engaged into some sporting activity, and there is
They feel it to be a very compulsion kind of a thing.
Yes,
right?
actually a lot of people, at least some people might feel that it's another thing that is coming onto their desk. So that is something very important. And I also, since you asked that about the ROI part of it, the ROI part of it is it's very simple. Healthy people, they are, it has been proven that they are actually more productive at work.
Absolutely.
And if they are more engaged, then the number of interpersonal issues and interpersonal conflicts will be less. This has a very strong correlation with what you do with your customer and internal stakeholder. So the less time that is spent on this and the number of escalations being less, then it's a direct benefit to your bottom line. So this is the premise on which the Indian companies now should be able to build on.
Correct. Now, looking at practically, what do you prescribe? That means, let's say, in terms of infrastructure, we literally have to build a cricket pitch in the workplace, or maybe a small little futsal court or a basketball court, because you are talking about team-based sports. So
Correct.
Initially, what comes to our mind is obviously every other thing which drives the nation, like India, is cricket, and obviously football is one of the globally most popular sports, and basketball is also a team game. So these kinds of infrastructure to be built in a workplace, don't you see certain obstacles into it?
I feel this, that just to kind of digress a little bit, earlier we used to have a sporting ground. This used to be, I have seen people in cities where after office hours they used to play badminton, and badminton courts used to come up, tips kind of. But now the problem is that you don't have enough space in any city to kind of engage. What is happening is that instead of that, this kind of free spaces are getting monetized. So therefore you have box cricket, you have all those kind of things, but that's not is going to yield any result. You will not be able to bring anything. I think the companies should look at engaging with organizations who are building sporting infrastructure, and you may not have a football ground very widely available, but there are football grounds that are available. So you can have, all that you need to do is to create a team, and maybe once in a while you organize a football match between functions or
departments,
business units. Yes, And the other thing you can do is to tie up with a gym. Lot of organizations that I know of, they have now kind of have a sporting arena or a gym in the office premise. See, it's also what people demand. I don't think this has been a very good trend that where sporting grounds have simply vanished. That you did not have to play. You know, when you were young or every society had a park.
As a park, yes. We used to play
And
every afternoon. We used to play. Right?
Yes, that used to be. Now, what is happening? Our kids are more glued to the WhatsApp,
gaming, WhatsApp, and
or watching reels and all, which is not a very productive way of utilizing time. Their social skills are dropping, and this has got a very disastrous impact on the way people are able to manage their emotions, what they are able to learn, their cognitive ability.
Absolutely. So sudden anger flaring up,
Yes.
losing the temper
Yes.
becomes very common.
And so therefore, the corporates can play a very vital role in reigniting or regenerating the demand for this kind of facilities, because if they are asking for it, then this will become there will be an action around that. And I think a lot of offices in your city, Pune, you have got so many multi-storied buildings, very beautiful offices that are coming up. They can put a gym over there. But these are generic kind of things that we are talking about. I think the specifics that can be done is that a company which does not have space or will not be, that building does not have space, you tie up with a gym or you encourage people to do something. See, there are two parts of it. One is the infrastructure. I think infrastructure is a challenge, yes, but infrastructure in India, roads and everything is a challenge.
Absolutely.
But are we not traveling? Are we not kind of doing what we have to do? We are doing it. It is about finding a way to kind of pushing yourself to first find ways where which sport you want to play or what you want to do and engaging yourself.
Simple. There is a will, there is a way.
Absolutely.
Now, I think that would, I can tell it is a related question, that you can focus on those sports which is quite space efficient, right? So I think that perspective also comes in over here. What do you say?
I think gym is more or less every neighborhood now has a gym.
Yes.
So people should be able to
Now, there are companies who are subscribing to gyms also.
Yes, and the other thing is that it's not that, of course, in Bombay I don't see too many ground, but there are where people can have football tournaments and kind of tie up with other organizations. I really don't feel that the infrastructure is what is preventing because the reason I'm saying is that it's close to 5,000 people that I surveyed, and what I found out is the biggest resistance to this is a notion in the mind that see, nobody wants to put herself or himself in an exercise mode, because exercising is not an easy thing, it's a little difficult.
It's difficult.
So to have an excuse for that is the other excuses.
Correct.
So the moment you are able to break that part of it and overcome that fear or inhibition, whatever you might term it as, then you will find a way.
So we were talking on, some people might feel it to be a compulsion, boss, suddenly this has been imposed on our shoulders. Now, that is one set of people. There is another set of people who are very introvert, very docile kind of a people who doesn't want to come out of their shells. And those people, we see that they are most hesitant in taking up such kind of an activity. So what is your prescription for that?
That's a very interesting point. See, as children, what is the first thing that our parent gifted us? It's a toy.
Correct.
Because we learn fast when we play with, we engage into a activity which is to do with sports. And people, irrespective of whether they are introvert or they are extrovert, sports, irrespective of what kind of background they come from, what kind of social backgrounds they have or economic backgrounds they have, it is a very unifying factor. And I'll give you an example, and the best example is the defense forces.
Absolutely.
One of the things they do to build that, why is the military so respected? It is because the culture that they have been able to build. Now you have people, officers coming from a diverse, India is such a beautiful diverse country. You look at the diversity of food, in terms of language, in terms of our culture, and yet it gets assimilated in the defense forces so well. And the reason for that is that what they are able to do with building the very base of the foundation with sports. And this has been very historically. If you see, the Britishers built their empire to a great extent. One of the instruments was sports.
Absolutely.
And there are very beautiful books that have been written on this. And I also realized during when I conducted the survey for my PhD, that people resonated with the idea that if something like this is brought into the workplace, they would like to get involved. The only thing that is standing in is to create a platform or a mechanism whereby you are able to bring it into fruition, bring it into practice.
Correct. So many a times you see in case of India, the primary activities of the business are being driven by the middle managers. Now it is also quite presumable, and if I have to establish sports at all levels of the organogram, this middle level managers need to drive it, and they need to play a vital role in institutionalizing these sports. Do you find any challenge in conditioning these kinds of middle managers to?
Yes, I think it is very much important that whenever, not only this initiative, whenever there is an initiative that you want to drive, the homework has to be very strong, and that the groundwork for that has to be laid. Correct. So what you want to do, what outcomes you want to measure. So if you are trying to measure engagement scores, then let it be that.
Correct.
But then you link that which sports initiative actually and through what mechanism you will link it with that. Are you trying to kind of make it an kind of an effort towards employees getting to know each other beyond transaction at a much more deeper level, so that interpersonal issues are kind of brought down? Then that can be another aspect of parameter that you can score. It can be a very powerful tool in branding your organization, that what you are doing for employee wellness. So there are multiple things that can be there. You asked me that the middle managers being a challenge or not. I feel that if they are given the awareness for this initiative more clearly, and what is the expectation from them, because if the role that they would play, they would, what the conversation on this topic they have with their teams is going to determine whether the team is going to take it seriously or not, or they are going to see it what point of optics point of view. So that conversation they will have to be kind of I would say made aware or trained or sensitized about.
Correct. So I would like to learn some of these companies where you can take some of them as an examples, where this sports has been literally institutionalized, and a lot of improvement have been seen on performance. If you have something, because already you are doing some research, I'm sure you must be having a lot of stories in the kitty.
I feel that unfortunately not many organizations have gone very deep into it.
Correct.
So this is a very open space, and I see this not as a problem. I see this as an opportunity, because India is demographically a younger country. We have a long way to go. We are also at a point of inflection whereby the changes that are happening in the world's geopolitical stage, the changes in the supply chain, India has a great opportunity ahead. Now, how do we kind of make use of that? Is by making sure that the human capital that is available with us is equipped to face that challenge and to kind of deliver. And so therefore, this initiative probably the time for this idea has come now.
Correct.
And if the organizations come together, this can be a very big positive impact on the people.
So Anirban, you were talking about the time wasters. Now I would like to know from you that how does sports impact a kind of a rewiring of the brain so that we engage ourselves into a positive direction, avoiding these kinds of all wasteful exercises like gossip, talking, criticizing unnecessarily. How does it happen?
There's a very interesting book by Dion Marcel, and in fact he is one of my mentors for this PhD.
Correct.
He's a Dutch guy who was earlier in Singapore, has done very wide research on the neurosciences part of it. And since you asked that about the rewiring of the brain and how we, it has been now research has established that your cognitive ability, normally it starts declining after you have completed your education. As you are growing older, you are aging. Aging naturally brings certain things, but sports, people who continuously engage themselves in physical activity, in the right kind of diet, because sports also has a very strong correlation. If you are, say for example, just to give an example, if you are into gymming, you will be very conscious about your diet. If you are playing any other sports, the same goes. So it kind of the cognitive ability gets equally powerful even after you cross a certain age.
Correct.
The other thing is this, that if you have to, this is a very simple thing, if you have something beyond, see at the end of the day, Riddhiman, what you are doing or what I am doing is also for our livelihood. But if we only live our life for our livelihood, then we are very different people than what we will do if we do something beyond our life.
Correct.
Because you see, after a certain age, what is the biggest problem? You would say that I am director of an institute. That becomes your only identity.
Absolutely.
I would say that I head HR in an organization. That becomes my only identity. But what is beyond that? Is that really impacting or adding value to the people that we are working with? You have got every year probably 5,000 students coming into your span of influence. But whether they are actually getting impacted by you or not.
Yes. What is the impact I'm able to create?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree.
So they will remember you. You probably will forget the student who has passed out 5 years back, but they would remember you.
Yes.
And that is what is the reality.
I see also a lot of students, I don't happen to recognize themselves. They come and they touch the feet.
Yes.
And yes.
So that's a very powerful leadership quality, and that comes from the person's energy level, which is a very strong correlation with what you do beyond your work life.
Correct.
And when you have to do something beyond the work life, you are more disciplined at your work because you have to find the time and space to do the rest of the things also.
Correct.
See, I learned something from my father. He was with the Indian Air Force and then he worked in the private sector.
Okay.
And he used to say, and kind of what I saw him practice more is the role that you have in the office or wherever you are working is an instrument actually to do a lot of good things for people. And that is how you can influence people, you can get more from them.
Correct.
And that is how you actually build the brand of the organization with which you are associated.
True.
And I think
Absolutely.
this is missing today because if we are just fulfilling the job that we are paid for, and this is our notion that we are fulfilling the job that we are paid for.
And this is
But-
my ambit. I will
this
not
is my
go
ambit.
gone beyond that
Then
ambit.
there is
Absolutely.
beyond a point, there is no need for that. In fact, a junior person should be able to do that also. As you scale up in your age, maturity, designation, you are expected to do certain other things, and the impact that you make on the life of people to get them to do more and to open up, to kind of mentor them. And why should someone accept you as your leader?
Yeah. Not by compulsion.
Not by compulsion, not by the power of your designation, but by who you are.
Yes. My metal. Yes. Yes. Truly. What about integrating the ethical part of sports? Now, let's say somebody is dribbling away and I give a very hard tackle and bring him down, an infringement against me just to prevent a goal. Rather, I try to see that what is the very most skillful way to snatch the ball out of him. I'm just giving an example.
Correct.
So this is basically plays an ethical angle, that whereby I am not fouling the player and I'm not going resorting to any kind of foul tactics, and I'm a very bona fide way. I'm within the ambit of the game. I'm playing and challenging that particular competitor. So how about adjoining this kind of ethical angle? Does it build up that ethics within the spirit of the organization?
Ethics is the most important thing in any business, any organization, whether you are, and in family also. In society, without ethics we cannot work. And how it's very important for to use sports-based initiatives to build that is that, see, when we are very transactional, we will only talk specifics of the work, and my intention would be to see that, okay, now my job is over, I've assigned the work to you. How you do it or whether you are able to do it or not is something that is up to you.
True.
It is only when we go beyond the transaction, then my ownership does not end over there. My ownership or accountability ends at ensuring that you get the right support.
Absolutely.
And I need to have that kind of influence within the organization through what I do.
What we do is that just completing a kind of a khana puri, that's not the end of the role.
Exactly.
That has to go beyond that.
I see a lot of managers today when we have conversations, they say that I told him, but they never do the kind of follow-up, they never do the kind of legwork and the effort that needs to be put to make sure that teams, see, as leaders and managers, our job is to create opportunities for them and also to help them execute that, because we have already done that and we should be able to do.
Support and felicitate.
Enable that. And for that, we need to have that kind of social skill, and I would say the kind of social presence in the organization, so that we are able to drive that from beginning.
And how it builds up an average spirit when I'm having sports. Obviously the energy level of the people is on the higher side and the personality is much more open, right? When I'm introducing a new colleague, the reaction is something like, hi, how are you, how have you been doing? So such kind of, rather than a very cold kind of a reception, I think these kinds of spirits also exuberate very, very
That's a very
spontaneously.
important point you have raised. Our sense of humor plays a very vital role. See, there can be serious situation where a youngster has done a mistake, but then our sense of humor, what I would put it as balance of proportion.
Correct.
This kind of things, when you are kind of, one of the things that I realized from my research is better amongst people who are doing something other than work. And since my research is on sports, I found that invariably happens to be one of the sporting activity. Otherwise, you are yourself little drained, little dull, and you yourself are needing motivation. Now, one of the things that organizational psychological research has now come up is, see, external motivation. There is not much of an external motivation. The concept as we knew is there. Motivation is something that you create
intrinsic.
for. Yes,
intrinsic. Absolutely.
And why it's intrinsic? Very simple. How you perceive an event. Say, for example, you walk into the office and you had a bad day with your boss, or a bad day with whatever for the reason. It is how you manage yourself. It might impact you emotionally.
Right.
So one way is to go to your team and vent the frustration over there. So their day has also got spoiled. Then they go home, they take that frustration and they pass it on to their parents
or vent it on their family people.
Family people. So it's
a rippling effect.
Rippling effect. There's other way that you go to the gym in the evening or you have come from the gym. So therefore, there is something called organizational psychology called sublimation. And the concept of sublimation is nothing but you have your own space to deal with your emotions. So you have kind of consumed whatever comes in your way. See, I'm not saying
and this solitude or this loneliness is important, I believe.
I think self-reflection is very important. You need to see, we are social animal. Humans are social animals. So you need to have friends. You need to have a circle where you can relate to, where you can talk. See, the entire concept of authenticity is what? It is who you are. You should be able to be yourself at office, at home, and for that you need a social space. So this entire initiative that or through my research I am trying to work upon is to create a mechanism whereby very simple tools and resources are created to deliver it.
Wonderful, and that part also comes to my memory that obviously in organization you have a transparent mechanism of giving feedbacks, and I believe sports is one such arena where you have very instant feedbacks available. You miss a catch, somebody appreciates your effort, but still you have meets, people come empathize with you and probably tells you what is the next best possible chances that you may not falter it in future. So these kinds of feedback mechanism which pervades within the company is also something very constructive.
Yes, as you I think the previous question you asked me that giving feedback, receiving feedback, and so I feel that when you are more transparent, when you have got what I term as something more than transaction, you have created that accountability, you have created that space for yourself.
Correct.
To give a feedback to another person, and that person will receive it positively. See, my dad always used to say that reward in public, reprimand in private.
Yes.
And I feel that managers need to have that create that space for themselves where the other person would be happy to receive that feedback. Even if he or she is not open to feedback, the manager should have that kind of leadership presence whereby something that comes from him, people give a thought to it. And that's the first level, and it's a continuous process because you should not do it only at the end of the year. It's a 365-day each day process. And for that, you really need to know the other person. If you don't know the other person, then your feedback will also not be correct.
Yes.
And the second thing is that the receptivity of that also will have a lot of limitations. Because the other person will see that this is one more transactional information that has come.
have been passed on to me.
Yes.
Rather than thinking in a very constructive way that this has been done for my improvement. So Anirban, how do you prevent sports rather than just to make it in a to-do list of the employee and try to make employees more spontaneous towards coming forward and adopting it very, very sportingly?
My observation in the last couple of years is that people are not, they're worried about their health, they're worried about their wellness, but they are not very educated and aware that how to address the issue. And this ultimately is leading to lack of, see, absenteeism is a global problem, but in India it's a big problem. The productivity time that is lost due to
health issues.
You are there in office. It is something called presenteeism. The concept of presenteeism is basically that you are in office, but because of some health issues or your mind not being very attentive, you are there in the office, but you are actually not productive. And what it is built on over a period of time is that people are spending long hours in office, but if you really go very deep into what is the output that they have been able to derive, then year after year it is Nothing.
Nothing.
So the reason for this is that they themselves are, see, at the end of the day, with the AI coming into the space, a lot of jobs are going to be redundant. So people will have to be upskilled. People will have to think of themselves very differently, learn new skills. And what is the skill that is going to become the most important in the coming years? People are not attentive to that. And that is how will you integrate technology as a tool to bring in more efficiency and bring the human part of the business, the people part of the business, integrate into that. Ultimately, there will be some amount of people who would have to drive technology which is much more robust, much more dynamic, and much more will give you higher levels of output. So for that, someone has to be skilled enough, and that requires people to be more skilled in their social interaction, have greater understanding of cultural diversity. Today every organization beyond a point is crossed a certain number of countries they are having operation. But how much do we understand about their culture? One of the biggest problem that you are, running an institution. So if you go and ask students to talk a little bit about our neighboring countries.
Neighboring countries, yes. They are totally blank.
Yes.
Yes.
So they don't know what is happening, and they don't know at a macro level what business have to. So ultimately technology, what it will do? It will do what you expect it to do. You have to utilize that technology. So therefore, human skills, human capital, ultimately the level at which it is operating now, that has to be scaled up. And the biggest challenge in doing that is currently their social skills.
Absolutely. And because you raised this point of AI, because AI, we can see that they are actually removing those mundane jobs. Yes. And absolutely trying to make the employees focused on certain very, very core skill areas. Don't you think sports itself is making that area to be more and more critical? So sports has to play a very critical role in such when certain jobs are being going away and newer skills are being recommended, and employees are largely conditioned onto this. So don't you think sports plays a very critical role into it?
I feel that sports-based initiatives can kind of help in two parts of it.
Correct.
One is that you have a huge population now who is 40 plus.
Yes.
So they have to reinvent themselves. So for that they need to kind of have the energy, the time to reflect upon themselves. So sports is a very good area, good initiative. Organizations can create initiatives around that, where they kind of help that segment of the population to kind of connect with their peers, understand what people who are in the 20s and 30s are doing, and what people are probably in the 50s are doing.
Correct.
Because this is the link generation, and the link generation has to understand and work with the Gen Z and the millennials, and at the same time the people who are senior to them. And I think that social skill can be imparted through a sports-based initiative, because it will help them reflect in a very meaningful way that where they stand in terms of, and it will also kind of motivate them to learn something new. And I want to tell you something which is very important. People are very job-centric, and survival and I would say security of the job is paramount in their mind. That part of the era is over now.
Yes.
Your survival, your presence in the organization, you can justify only when you bring in whole set of skills to the organization.
Absolutely.
If you are not able to drive team, if you are not being able to communicate with the people, if you are not open in giving your opinion, I see this as a huge challenge. Yes. People are not even willing to give their opinion on key issues on the table.
Key
So
issues,
what's the
yes.
point in having a meeting on something which is a problem statement for it?
Everything seems to be going under table.
They want somebody else to take it as
Take it,
delegation.
yes,
and
yes,
and
yes.
one of the things that through my
Passing the
research,
buck to the others, somewhere I
Absolutely.
see that.
absolutely.
Yes, and Anirban, one thing is that let us come to a very critical incident few years back, that is COVID. COVID has put us back into our homes, work from home, social distancing. So, how do you think it is to be a deterrent in implementing such physical happening to be event like sports to be institutionalized in an
I think that's the
organization?
reason why it is become even more important, because see, I think there is a great confusion, and I believe office should not be given up. And primary reason for that is that it's like an institution where you bring people from different skills, different domains
Correct.
to come together and to solve a problem. Business is what? It is about delivering a solution that the
Correct.
society needs at the
Correct,
end of the
correct,
day.
correct.
So you have to connect with the society, you have to connect with the stakeholders internally and people with whom you are partnering and working. So that is not possible without the office. Office is the identity based on which the organization exists. At the same time, the ground reality, because in Indian context you have such a huge infrastructure issue in terms of roads, in terms of travel time and all, it is also important that you have some flexibility given to the people in terms of work from home.
True.
So therefore, at points of time, this people have to be brought together to
True.
kind of connect. And I'm of the opinion that a lot of organizations and a lot of managers, they say let the juniors work from home. But the bigger challenge is that's when it starts. When you send people who are just fresh or with couple of years experience from work from home, they're completely disconnected from the culture of the organization.
And not only that, we have seen a lot of undesirable things happening in the home
Yes.
space. A lot of domestic violence has grown
Correct.
in this. But when people were called back in the office, very surprisingly, these things have subsided.
Well, I see it this way, and it's very simple, that the youngsters, to understand the culture of the organization, the rituals of the organization, what is the process, what the organization is trying to do. See, learning to a great extent has moved from documents and books
Correct.
to initiate interactions with people.
Yes.
What you can learn by interacting with 10 people who have got 10 years of experience.
You actually accumulate 100 years.
100 years.
Yes.
If not 100 years, at least you know what basics about.
Basics about. Yes.
It is only the conversation. So the
Right.
art of conversation is very key social skill. And that was what, you see, the emotional intelligence as a term that we know,
Yes.
and the social skills as a term that we know, is what is the tool that gets you that? It is the conversations.
Absolutely. Conversation.
Emotional skills, the foundations are built when your parents, the way parenting happens.
Correct.
Social skills when you become a little older, and that process continues in the organization. So it has to be a balance of work from home, and it's not either or. It is an and at every point of time, everybody needs to have a bit of both.
Correct.
So that's where
I think absolutely I subscribe 100% to this idea.